G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be putting the VTrack through a very tough test. We're going to get this ball out again. I don't know if you remember this ball. I tried to take as much of the markings off this ball as possible because this ball is the one I'm going to use to test the VTrack with its algorithm to see if it misses the logo on the ball. If it can't lock onto something, do we still get the correct spin axis? That is the test for today. So just like the Pro T VX launch monitor, the VTrack relies on locking onto a logo or something on a golf ball to then correctly get spin and spin axis. But what happens if it doesn't see a logo? Are we still going to get the correct spin and spin axis? That's exactly what I'm going to find out today. Talking to VTrack about this, they say that they've got an algorithm where if the actual launch monitor doesn't see a logo on the ball, then it will use all the other data that it's collected and then give an estimated spin value. So that's what we're going to put to the test today. To do this test, I'm going to go out to the JLG golf range and I'm going to go do my draw and fade test. Now, I did this test with a Pix golf ball. Today, we're going to be doing it with this one with, the logos taken off the ball to the best of my ability. I did use sandpaper for this. Okay, let's head out and do the test. I'm going to make this as hard as possible today. Every single time, I'm going to try and angle this golf ball to where the unit cannot see a logo. That is my goal. I do not want this thing to find a logo. All right, so we're going to start off with the draws, and I'm just going to be trying to hit massive draws and fades for this. If we see anything go straight, or not a massive spin axis, then that is a cause for concern. Okay, I towed that horribly, but the spin axis is correct. So that was not a good shot, but the spin axis was good. And unlike the Pro T, I cannot see there's no validator. So there's nothing to see whether the unit's locked onto the golf ball. We've just got to kind of look at the data. And if we see it go straight, like I said, that's where we'll say we've had a misread. Okay, again, massive hook. And I'm trying to place this every time to where the unit cannot see any logo. It's a bit more solid. Again, we're seeing massive hooks. Okay, that should have hooked and it didn't. 100% that should have hooked. So to me, that shot there was a misread. I've only had negative 0.5 spin axis where that should have hooked like the rest of them. So I'm going to say we've had a misread there. That one was going to hook, I just pulled it. So negative 22.7 spin axis. Okay, that one hooked. No issues. And that one's hooked. So they're all hooking. We just had that one shot that went straight. Yep. Okay, that 100% should have hooked. 100%. So we've had two shots now where the ball's gone dead straight, where I know they're both hooked. Okay, let's do some slices now. I'll just go to a 6 iron because it's a bit easier to slice a 6 than a 7. Okay. No issues. No issues. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing no issues with the slicers so far. Oh, see that? It's sliced, but it didn't slice as much as the others, and the backspin was wrong. That was a misread. That should have sliced more. So we've had a misread. That one just didn't feel right. And if you look at the backspin and the spin axis, it's wrong. That's more like it. So that's correct. Yep. Okay. So we saw one misread there with the slicers. We'll do a few more hooks. We'll probably do one more set of each, and then we'll call it. So we'll go back to 7-iron. So it did hook. And go again. Yeah, that's more like it. It's hard to tell, you know, whether it's an algorithm or whether it's a measured spin axis read. Okay, that one seemed way too much of a hook. -27. That's got to be the biggest hook we've seen so far. To me, that almost overhooked, if I'm honest. And the spin rates seem incorrect as well. They seem way too high. 7,700 spins too high. So that one there was a misread. The club data seems right, but the ball data there to me was wrong. It spun way too high and had way too much hook. That one seems correct. So 6,000, -12-ish. That seemed legit. Yep. Yep. Slightly heavy, but it was the shot shape we expected. Yep. Yeah. Seems legit. And yeah, that seems legit as well. So for the most part, I think it's accurate. I think we've got one more draw. And this is obviously the worst possible case. A golf ball that's got a logo so worn that, I mean, you can barely see it. Yep, that was hooked quite hard, so I believe that one. So we had, what, one misread there, I think? Let's go back to the 6-iron, and we'll hit the slicers. Okay, that seems legit. Again, that seems legit. Yep. No issues. Yep. No issues. Again, no issues. Yep. 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 Okay, final shot. Are we going to see another misread? No, that's perfect. Okay, let's call that test complete. Okay, that was the worst case scenario draw fade test with this golf ball. The Titleist that I've tried to sand as much of the logo off as I possibly can. So that's ultimately the test. What did we see? We did see a few misreads. We saw a few draws that just went dead straight. And then we saw that one fade that also kind of went dead straight, but also had incorrect backspin. So it looks like, although the algorithm is quite good, there is still a little bit of work that needs to be done with refining the algorithm with regards to spin and spin axis when the unit doesn't lock onto anything on the golf ball. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. Any comments or questions, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.